the opportunities, believe it or not, are still all out there. They're waiting for somebody to capture them. And the interesting thing is, our view of these future options really hasn't changed. And the way of getting to that future also hasn't changed. So when we work with companies to identify these new businesses, new business opportunities, it's fascinating to me how often in one day they can double their strategic outlook just by looking at it differently. Now, the current reality is a strange one. And to me, it's almost like the Cambrian explosion of life. Now, I don't know if you remember, you probably won't. About 500 million years ago, about 97% of all life on this planet was exterminated. And in that period, in the millions of years after that, there was an absolute explosion of life. Almost every life form that we see today has its origins in that spot about 500 million years ago. And just like that analogy of 500 million years ago, today we see many, many life forms going out of business. Do you know that in the last 12 months, 500 banks have disappeared off the planet? 500. Now that to me is a kind of tsunami. But what's happening now is that there's this white space into which all sorts of new companies are emerging, mopping up the problem children called customers that are suddenly ditched. And it's fascinating how that's happening. And we kind of draw a little traffic light, a robot as you call it, you know, that says when extinction happens, the first thing that results, excuse me, let me go back to that, is white space. And into that white space, these entrepreneurial companies move with such speed that it's almost blinding. And it almost always happens immediately after an extinction, a credit crunch, or some big event that we didn't predict. And the thing that we always have to remember, that no matter how great your business plans are, the future is always messy. It's like sailing. You always go sailing when it's sunny and the water's calm. But if you stay out there long enough, there's going to be a storm, a tsunami, or whatever. And to me, that's what business has to get ready for. And of course, those tsunamis, those storms, are not negative. They are just new opportunities to anybody who's not a market leader. So you have to look at them positively, and we'll come back to that. And the credit crunch was another one of those things, you know, this credit tsunami. But you know, if you told anybody beforehand, would they have believed you? You got the same question in the last presentation. Well, here's the ironic thing. Every Thursday, we publish something called a Mind Bullet. And I know a few of you are already subscribers. We published this one in May 2005 with a dateline of December 2007. And we said by December 2007, you know, the credit situation in the United States would have reached such a point that there would be an implosion of the world's financial systems. So we got it wrong by 5 months. What do you think the typical reaction from the market leaders in these industries was? Grulke, you are crazy. This is not going to happen. This time it's different.